This is the Switchpod. This is a product that Pat Flynn, yes, the author, the podcaster, the educator, this is his first physical product, besides from books, like his first manufactured product. Switchpod is basically his answer to the GorillaPod, the tripod that so many YouTubers, vloggers are using because that was the only option for them. Basically, it was a small bendy tripod that isn't the most sturdy thing. And once you bend it, it's hard to get back to be perfectly straight. This is Pat's answer to that. Well, Pat and Caleb. Caleb is the videographer behind Pat's business. So they partnered on this. Let's open it up. Magnets. Typically, you don't see packaging with this. You don't see a package where with this material, it's like soft, almost velvet. It smells really good. I've never seen a package that smelled this good. So that's really interesting. It is kind of coming off in the box. So whatever that is, it kind of flakes a little bit, maybe from heat, because it's pretty hot here right now. This is the Switchpod. Basically, the point of this is that you could be vlogging and you hold this out and it's at the perfect angle for you. And then when you want to put the camera down, all you do is flick out the legs and now you have a steady tripod. There are holes in here for accessories. They're building a bunch of accessories. For example, this one has a small screw hole. This one has a bigger screw hole, and this also has a small one. So you can basically put microphones and things like that all attached to the Switchpod. They are building a ball head for this. He basically announced it without announcing it. So it's coming. There's no official day because it's not officially announced, even though he did say it's probably coming. But basically, until then, you either put in your own ball head or you just use this and twist it onto your camera. Watch this. Do you remember these? Yeah, flip camera. Basically, you take that, you put it on top, and you screw it in to the bottom until it's nice and snug. And now you've got the perfect vlogging setup. And then when you want to put it down, you just open the legs. And your strap hopefully doesn't get in the way. And now it goes perfectly level. Let's go try this with the camera on here, with my Z6 on here. Don't mind the stain here on my shirt. My son was eating and then decided he wanted to mush his face on my shirt, so I got some cookies on my shoulder. But anyway, this is basically what it would be like to vlog with the Switchpod. Now I'm going to be using this on a regular basis. I can just throw it in my bag. It takes up very little space, and I'm actually going to use it for a meeting that I have coming up. I'll bring it to Photo Plus Expo. I'm very excited that it's finally here, and no, it has no stabilization. It's basically just metal and some rubber, but otherwise it's solid. And now I can just take it, and while I'm talking, you'll probably hear the little metal movements, but while I'm talking, I could actually go ahead and place this down on my desk, like so. And now it's down on my desk, and I didn't have to take it off the Switchpod. I just switched it, opened the legs up and put it down, and that was it. That's pretty cool. And I can just pick it up and I can collapse the legs. I have to get used to the little bit of movement, but I just collapse the legs and put it back down, and that's it. I can also open it up and put it down on the floor. That's my Really Right Stuff tripod. Colorado Tripod Company ball head on top of it. My travel tripod, but now I'll have when I travel, I will now have my travel tripod and the Switchpod with me because the Switchpod's amazing for video creation. So I realized that after recording the entire intro to that video, the entire beginning of this video, that I did not have vibration reduction turned on, image stabilizer turned on in my Nikon Z6. So right now it's even off. If I start walking around, you're going to see it's pretty shaky because I have it turned off. This is what it looks like with the Switchpod, where the VR, vibration reduction, is turned off on my Nikon Z6. And I'm going to go back and then do it again and turn it on. Now I have vibration reduction turned on. Now, the Nikon Z6 has VR in the body, so it's, I think, 5-axis in the body. So I'm going to stand up. I'm going to do the same walk to my desk, and you'll see that it is more stabilized. This is the Nikon Z6 on the Switchpod with in-body VR turned on. I think it's also worth noting that you don't have to use the Switchpod where the camera is pointed towards you. You could also use it where the camera is pointed away from you. And that's if you wanted to do some video footage of whatever's in front of you. And so I just wanted to just turn it around real quick. And I'm going to use my microphone tip. If you want to see my microphone tip, just click on the card above and you'll be able to see my tip about vlogging, where your video is facing away from you. And by the way, don't mind the poor audio in this video throughout. Long story short, I've got it solved. Okay, so right now I am recording with the Switchpod and the camera is pointed away from me. I'm just walking and I have my microphone pointed towards me so you can hear me. And I am just walking towards my desk just like I would otherwise. But what's cool is, because it's facing away from me, I can see everything clearly on my screen, and I can also stabilize the Switchpod just by holding it with two hands, because there's a lot of grip throughout this product, and I can walk, keep my elbows in, and everything is nice and smooth, and I can just keep walking and walking. So there you go. You can use the Switchpod without it facing you. So I just spent a good amount of time with the Switchpod between my tests and doing some footage around, some B-roll, some other videos, and of course filming at Photo Plus in New York City. I was at a trade show and I spent the entire day basically holding this. And I have to say there's a few things, and this is something that many people actually came up to me and they wanted to see this in action, so that was really cool to see as well. There's a lot of interest in this. It's so comfortable. It is so comfortable. I was not surprised because I knew it was going to be comfortable, but I was glad to see that my thought that it would be comfortable was true. It is comfortable, even though it is metal, and it could potentially be heavier than some other things, or it's a little bit bigger than a tabletop tripod. It is still light and it's still comfortable. The fact that I have these extra screw holes that I can add accessories is really beneficial. The fact that I could just open it up and put it down on a table is really fantastic. So it's been great overall. A couple things I want to point out. One, yes, there is no ball head. They are working on a ball head. Even if you don't buy their ball head, there are other options. If you have a mobile phone and you want to use this with your mobile phone, get this. This is called the Glyph. This is really fantastic. You can just screw it right on top, and then you can attach your phone. It expands, and then you can lock it in place, and now you can have your phone secure to the top of this. I've already recorded a video with this setup, and it works great. Now, if you want a ball head and you don't want to wait for Switchpod to come out with their own, you could pick up a ball head like this. This is actually from Colorado Tripod Company. You can get one from any brand, and typically the hole on the bottom of a ball head will match up to the screw size of the Switchpod. So you should be okay with that. And there's adapters if for whatever reason it is the bigger screw hole. You could actually use an adapter. There's cheap like $4 adapter or something like that. Some of the ball heads like this one actually came with the adapter, so some of them actually come with it, no problem. So I have a Really Right Stuff tripod right here. I have the Really Right Stuff ball head, but right now I have the Colorado Tripod Company ball head on here, and again, it'll fit perfectly on here as well. So I'm a big fan. I have been using my Really Right Stuff tabletop tripod and then also a Manfrotto tabletop tripod to hold my camera and record myself and then put it down when I need to. But now I plan on using this whenever I need to do just video footage, something like that. And what I really like is that I can stabilize by holding it outward and using both hands and my elbows in to keep it sturdy. So I'm a big fan. And by the way, if you are one for liking fidget type things, you can fidget with this all day long. I find myself fidgeting with it, so that's pretty cool too. So Switchpod. I'm proud to recommend the Switchpod. So good work to Pat and Caleb for making such an amazing product.